You're listening to Right After Wrestling with Ardo Cal and Jimmy Corderas. Our guest right now may be retired from the world of professional wrestling, but in its time, one of the most influential professional wrestlers in World Wrestling Entertainment. We're talking about John Bradshaw Layfield, JBL, joining us on the program. Thank you so much for taking time out.
It's a pleasure to join you and join my good friend Jimmy Corderas. We've had a massive amount of fun over the years, playing a lot of golf and drinking a few beers together.
Yeah,
so glad to be here.
Thanks for joining us, John. We really appreciate it.
Who's the better golfer, JBL? Is it yourself or Jimmy?
Let me tell you something. Jimmy Corderas one time hit a ball OB, and we gave him a lateral lie. So what you're saying is, instead of having to hit from the tee, he's going to hit from wherever he hit OB. So I look around, and Jimmy Corderas is laying next to the OB, 400 yards down the fairway. That is the biggest crock of BS I've ever seen in my life. And I said, you know what? No, that is not going to work. You're not laying down there. And he was like, what? I go, no, you did not hit a drive 400 yards that went OB. And so, yeah, we've had a few problems on the golf course.
Well, that was because my right eye, I have a problem with depth perception in my right eye, so I thought that's how far it went.
You didn't have a problem with depth perception. You had a problem with honesty on the golf course, and you were trying to screw us because you thought we were too drunk to play golf, which probably we were, but that was completely out of line.
Well, here's the problem, JBL. You were a few pops in, but your game got better the more you drank.
That's actually true. That's actually true. I got better the more I drank.
If you don't mind me, I got to tell Arda this because he doesn't know this. JBL actually, one day we were golfing. He drove the ball. It went dead straight. We couldn't find it. I'm trying to make this really quick, but the cart had a GPS system in the cart. And Larry Heck, who's the trainer for WWE, was with us. And he told John, go check on the green to see if your ball was there. And John walked up on the green. It wasn't there. And then Larry said, check over the green. John drove his cart around the back, and the ball was sitting there, rolled off the back of the green, 377 yards. Legit.
That's a true story. That is a 100% true story. I can hit the ball a freaking mile. I wish I could putt like I hit, but I can hit the ball a mile. Love the game of golf.
Well, certainly I'm sure that you've been doing a lot of golfing lately, but for wrestling fans that don't know what you're up to these days, JBL, what have you been doing with your time lately?
I lived in Bermuda most of the summer, played golf and fished. Actually has nothing to do with wrestling. I went to Africa before that, went to Scotland before that, Bahamas before that, going fishing, and I'm going to Aspen this weekend to play a little more golf. So I'm pretty much retired and enjoying the hell out of it.
Do you still follow the product on TV today?
You know what? I follow it on the internet. I don't watch the show. I've been in Bermuda for 4 months, and I'm playing golf all day. I'm fishing the days I don't play golf, so it's not like I have time to watch TV. I don't watch any TV, so it's not like I don't watch WWE or anything else. I just don't watch TV. So I follow it on the internet, keep up with it, and I still stay in contact with most of the guys. I stay in contact with John Cena, with Michael Cole, with Vince McMahon, by text, by email. But other than that, I don't follow it, no.
The only reason I asked was because I wanted to get your thoughts. You've likely heard that they've debuted a new character on SmackDown called Alberto Del Rio, and it seems to be very similar to the character that you used to portray in JBL. In fact, Christian called him on an episode of SmackDown, Juan Bradshaw Layfield.
Swimmer, hell, he stole my gimmick. But you know what? I stole Ted DiBiase's, and I stole J.R. Ewing, so it's not like it hadn't happened before. Look, this young man apparently is a fantastically talented guy. His father, Dos Carlos, I worked with in Mexico, and I have never seen the guy on TV. So to be fair, I have no idea. Obviously, I've heard a ton about him because he's doing my gimmick. It's just a Mexican version. But you know what the heck? I stole DiBiase's. DiBiase stole Gorgeous George, and also stole J.R. Ewing. So it's not like it's sacred. I hope the young man has a wonderful success. He comes from a great heritage of wrestlers with Dos Caros, and he's a fantastic Greco-Roman wrestler, which I have a love for because I was trained by Greco-Roman wrestler Brad Reingens, and I hope he does very well.
Another person who referenced you in a promo a little while back was The Miz. I was wondering if you had any comments on his meteoric rise now with the company.
I hope Miz is very successful. And did I haze him? Hell yes, I hazed him. Look, a lot of people want to talk about me, and did I haze people? Yes, absolutely. I make no apologies for that whatsoever. It's not like I've gotten soft in my older years. When I started, guys were hazed, and they were hazed for good reason, because they want to know in a riot, which we had a few back in the day, were you going to be on the side of the boys, or were you going to be side of the fans? Were you going to run or leave? And so hazing was a huge part. Now it is not a huge part. There is no place in it for in a corporate sterile world that is now the WWE. So when The Miz came in, most of it was hazing, honestly was working. Me on the mic, me talking to him. I gave him as much advice as I possibly could because I thought he had an ability to be a heel. I really thought he had it. I thought he was so good that I gave him a lot of advice. But did I haze him? Probably. I have no idea. But I'm not going to apologize for it. I don't give a shit. I really don't care.
Well,
and if these guys are too soft to not make it without just a tad bit of hazing, there's hazing everywhere. Then to hell with them.
Well, this opens up a more general question. I mean, in professional wrestling, back in the day when you started, and even the generation before you, it was commonplace that this kind of thing would happen to separate the men from the boys. And you're saying now it's not commonplace anymore, not as prominent. But do you think it is a necessary portion of professional wrestling that this exists? At least not in a completely demeaning sort of way. But is it necessary to see how passionate somebody is about wrestling?
No, I don't think so. I am very happy for The Miz. I hope he succeeds. I hope he does tremendous things. I hope he headlines WrestleMania. And I hope he keeps cutting promos on me. That's fantastic. It benefits me zero because I have no desire to come back or do anything else. But when you're talking about what is going forward, no, there's probably not a place for that. It's a new sterile world. It's a new professional wrestling world that is more sports entertainment than it is wrestling. I really liked wrestling. But times change, and everything changes. And those things are per se, and probably for the better.
So pretty much you're at peace with yourself, not having anything to do with the wrestling business. I know for a while there you got into... I don't know if this is the right terminology, an energy drink called Mama Juana. Is that still part of your repertoire?
No, it's not. I thought the product was a pretty good product. It came from the Dominican Republic, and got into a few other beverages. I now invest in beverage companies, which is a great thing for me. I'm making actually more money than I ever made in wrestling doing what I'm doing. New Leaf Beverages, the new company that I'm investing in. But no, what I'm doing now is more, to explain it further, is to go to the e-commerce, which is nutritionmarket.com, which sells about 4,000 products, and we sell it better than anybody else.
And a lot of people will know that you were heavily involved in the stock market and trading, and in fact, as we know, you used to give advice to a lot of the guys on what stocks to buy in their portfolios. Do they still text you, call you for advice?
No, they don't. But that's okay.
I guess you got your own to take care of, right?
I'm an old guy. I'm 43, but that's old in this business. So I expect the text to fade and everything else. I've gotten a bunch of texts lately from my good friend John Cena and the Undertaker, and we're still good friends. And you never know what the future holds.
And so right now, in terms of your interests, you're talking about the energy companies, and obviously you still hold a very successful portfolio. That's right?
I'm very happy with my portfolio. Yes, absolutely. There's no doubt about that. I'm making more money than I ever made in wrestling, and very happy with that.
You spoke about age. You were one of the older fellas that I can recall that would go to the top rope and actually take a bump from up there.
That's probably the reason I don't play golf so well right now.
Hey, did you manage to get off Bermuda? Did you leave Bermuda to get out of the way of Ivan, or did you stay?
No, I left Bermuda because of the hurricane, and I'm looking forward to going back. I love the islands. I love playing golf. I love going around the world and seeing different cultures. To me, that is really exciting. So looking forward to continuing my lifestyle after the hurricane which passed through Bermuda.
And what about, at one point in 2009, you were linked with Danny Davis's outfit, the Viper Fight League. Is there any interest in doing any other sort of sport or being involved at any kind?
Zero.
None?
Absolutely zero. Danny Davis is a dear friend of mine, and he does a wonderful job. We are doing that to benefit our distribution company, and we realized at one point that it wasn't working. And I really hate that because Danny is such a good guy, and I think he does a wonderful job. I think the WWE should subsidize him 100%. But that's not up to me. So at some point we had to say, do we do what's best for the business, or do we do what's best for the entire world? And we had to make a business decision, and unfortunately that called for us to pull funding from that league.
One more question for you before we let you go. Obviously, you're enjoying life and traveling around the world. What other countries are on your hit list?
I've got a bunch. I want to go to Cuba. I want to go to Everest Base Camp next year. I'm going to go fishing for black marlin off the Barrier Reef next year for the Granders, the 1,000-pound black marlin. And I've got a bunch of travel that I want to do. I mean, life doesn't stop at 43. So I'm looking forward to doing a lot of things. Wrestling is not one of them, but like they always say, you never know.
Well, if they ever called you back to be a guest star, guest host of Raw, would you do it?
In a heartbeat. Yeah. I got a email from Mr. McMahon this morning. It was a very nice email. Is one I sent him, and he reciprocated with a very nice email. And I'm a WWE guy. I mean, no offense to TNA or anybody else, but I'm a WWE guy. And if they called me and asked me to do something, I would probably do it if I could make it because of the schedule. I mean, they called me next week. They're in Madison Square Garden. And I'm in Aspen for a conference. I can't be there. They didn't ask me to be in the ring, but they asked me to just come and say hi to the boys. If I can do it, yes, I'll do it.
JBL, John Bradshaw Layfield, catching up with him on Right After Wrestling. John, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.